price that is negotiated by buyers and sellers, and they negotiate together in order to get to a price that would be ideal for both. So I recommend watching these videos here. They're very good videos. Also doing the questions in the textbook and in the mind tab for this. So here, quantity demanded refers to the buyers negotiating, and quantity supplied is the sellers negotiating. So they negotiate to a price point of $4 per kilogram of oranges, and that would allow quantity demanded to equal quantity supplied. So here, this would be the point they get to when they negotiate for a while. So once supply equals demand here, once you hit here where it's $4 here, then that's when there will be buying and selling of oranges here. So equilibrium is when the negotiation is met. Then we have things like surpluses when there's too much of something. If there's too much supply compared to demand, we have a surplus. And that will drive prices down in the long term. So the price will eventually go down over the long term. So it will start up here, but it will go down eventually because there's too much supply. When there's too much supply, the price will eventually go down. Then if it's excess demand, that means demand is greater than supply. And then in the long run, the price will go back up. So yeah, if demand is greater than supply, the price will eventually drive back up. So I recommend, do the textbook questions and the mind tap questions. So market equilibrium, it's a great way to show the negotiation in the market between buyers and sellers. This sets what prices are for any good. Buyers and sellers are constantly negotiating in order to determine a price that would meet both their needs here. And it's really like a compromise in the market. A large demand for these televisions, but only a few specialty retailers carried them. Today, almost every audio, video retailer and general merchandising department store has a section dedicated just to large screen TVs. Supply and availability has certainly increased to meet the high level of demand. Prices today are very low compared to what they used to be. So supply and demand are the most fundamental concepts in all economics. And this is where suppliers and demanders negotiate to set a price. So there's a few videos to watch. These videos here, I recommend watching these by the Khan Academy. So they'll go through law of demand, law of supply. When supply increases, for example, with large screen TVs, as the supply increased over time of large screen TVs, more were produced, they came down in price because 20 years ago, large screen TVs used to be extremely expensive, but now they're semi-affordable compared to what they were before. Law of demand, if demand goes up, then price will go up. If supply goes up, price will go down. So I recommend doing the mind tap activities and the textbook questions and complete quiz 1. The definition of market. So a market is a social arrangement that allows buyers and sellers to carry out voluntary exchange of goods and services in everyday usage. The word market refers to the location where goods are traded. So examples of markets include shopping malls such as the Rito Center, the Toronto Stock Exchange, auctions, flea markets, etc. So demand curve. As price goes down, quantity demanded goes up. And that makes sense because you're more likely to buy more of something when the price goes down because it's cheaper to buy. So for example, at a price of $8 per kilogram, Kyle buys 40 kilograms of oranges. If the price is higher at $10 per kilogram, Kyle might buy only 30 kilograms. However, if the price is lower at $6 per kilogram, he will buy 50 kilograms. So as the price of the good increases, the quantity demanded decreases. So shifts in the demand curve happen through non-price changes. So so yeah, so anything related to the prices of related goods changing, income, the number of buyers, preferences, taste, and expectations, all of those will shift the demand curve. So if there's more buyers for a product, the demand curve will shift right. If there's more income for people, the demand curve will shift right. If the price of related goods goes up, if the price of a substitute good goes up, the demand curve for this good will shift right because people will shift to the cheaper good. Yeah, so substitutes are, for example, if the price of Pepsi goes up, the demand for Coke will go up because people will want to get a cheaper substitute. And then complements are basically things that you buy together. So if the price of ketchup goes up, you you will buy less of ketchup and mustard because you usually buy those together. Yeah. And then taste also, if people don't like a certain product anymore, they're going to buy less of it basically. Then expectations, if people hear that a freeze in Florida has destroyed one half of the orange crop, they will anticipate that the price of frozen orange juice will increase in the future, so they will demand more currently because they want to stock up just in case the capacity goes down. Supply curve. So supply curve, as the price goes up, the quantity supplied, it should say quantity supplied here, but as the price goes up, the quantity supplied goes up because companies will sell more for a higher price. They'll get higher amounts of revenue if they sell more. So that's why they will the quantity supplied the quantity supply will go up when the price goes up. Shifts in the supply curve, so they're non-price related. So if input prices change, that will shift the supply curve, price of related goods, expectations, number of sellers, technology, regulations, taxes, subsidies, and weather. So if the price of inputs goes up, the supply will shift less. So they'll have less supply because they can produce less because it's more expensive. Price of related products. So if the price of small cars rises, the producers will produce more small cars. This draws the resources of the plant to the production of small cars and away from production of large cars. Therefore, the supply of large cars will decrease. So, yeah, number of suppliers. If number of suppliers goes up, supply will increase. Technology. If technology gets better, supply will increase. And then, like, if subsidies, if government spends more on subsidies, if the government spends more on helping that industry, the supply will increase. Learning activities. So make sure to do the mind tap activities, do the textbook activities, do quiz 1. So yeah, it's key to practice this stuff. And in this module, you learn about the market and how demand, supply, and price interact with one another. This module discusses movements and shifts in the demand and supply curves. And this module, you will learn about market equilibrium. So in this module, you will learn how your demands determine what is produced and your role in that production. So I recommend watching these videos here. These are great videos on the topics, and do the textbook questions and mind tap activities. Economic thinking. So resources are scarce because they're not sufficient to satisfy all wants. Since wants are unlimited, but resources are limited, households and firms and society as a whole face trade-offs. So when in an economy, you'll have only limited resources, and you have to choose what you want to produce with those resources. It's similar to a budget. You have a limited budget, but you got to choose what you can spend on with that budget, like groceries, transportation, vacations, everything together. So firms sell goods and services to households. Households buy goods and services from firms. Firms pay wages, rent, dividends to households, and households supply factors of production. So this is a never-ending cycle. The production possibilities curve shows an economy that makes only two products. Resources and technology are fixed, and all resources are employed to its fullest capacity. So it shows the choices you have to make with your resources in order to make a certain amount of products. So product A would be on the vertical axis here, product B would be on the horizontal axis here, and you have to choose how much of product A you want to make and how much product B you want to make. So ideally, to be efficient, you want to be on this line. That's key to being efficient. Being under the line, that's inefficient, so you're wasting resources. Being outside of the line is not possible because you don't have enough capacity yet. So I recommend, do the textbook